What's going on, y'all? VNCZ3 here, and welcome back to a new Magic Arena video. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to play this Grixis control deck that I specifically brewed up for the Twice the Life event. And if you're looking for the complete deck list, then check the description below. There'll be a deck list link that'll take you to Aether Hub, as well as a typed up list so that you can highlight, copy, and directly import it into Magic Arena. And before we get into the actual deck breakdown, let's talk about the meta breakdown first, right? So right now, what I am seeing is like 70% or more of the players are just playing combo, right? Because you start at such an artificially high life, 40 to be exact, it's a lot easier to, go off on infinite turns because you can take more hits, or, play cards like Paradoxical Engine and tap, untap, cards like that, basically. Combo to be more specific. And the other like 20% is kind of like a hit or miss between aggro and control. And so I specifically brewed this deck up to kind of combat the entire meta, mainly the combo side of it, but it can still do pretty good against the aggro side of it. So let's talk about it briefly, right? Because we start off with 40 life, I decided to put 3 Arguel's Bloodfast into the deck because, look, if I draw it, I want to play it immediately and just keep drawing cards because my life total is artificially very high. I've got 4 Glint-Sleeve Siphoners because, well, against combo, they're not really doing much, so I can just keep drawing cards and not worry about losing my life too much. 4 Champion of Wits, did I mention draw cards? Because I love to draw cards, and Grixis control is all about grinding your opponent out, basically through raw card advantage. It does play 4 Disallows to stop any real shenanigans from happening, 4 Abrades to break down those Paradoxical Engine combos, Doomfalls to, that's, the deck itself is really soft to a card like Carnage Tyrant, so Doomfalls are superb against those, all right? Vraska's Contempt, obviously, get pesky planeswalkers, things like that off the table. Nicol Bolas and Nicol Bolas. Let's talk about them both really quick. The reason I'm playing Nicol Bolas the Ravager, or the Ravager Nicol Bolas, is because when he does come out onto the field as a 4/4 flyer, your opponent has to discard a card, which is automatically a 1-for-1. And then if they do something to it, it's a 2-for-1, and that's always really good. You want to grind your opponent out. And then if you get the opportunity to flip it, it just pretty much ends the game really quickly. Its ultimate is exile all but the bottom cards of target player's library. So it pretty much just ends the game, right? The fact that you can keep drawing 2 cards or basically kill a planeswalker or a creature, and then you can revive a creature or a planeswalker from any graveyard is really, really good. And then let's talk about the Nicol Bolas, the God-Pharaoh Nicol Bolas, right? Target opponent exiles cards from the top of their library, and then you get to play it, basically, if it's a non-land card for free, or target opponent exiles 2 cards out of their hand. Both effects are pretty good. The deal 7 damage to my opponent can be relevant. Creature or a planeswalker that opponent controls, it's all relevant. And then the ultimate is exile each non-land permanent my opponent controls. So it's all extremely relevant. 26 lands, there should probably be 27 lands. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this gameplay, yeah? Because I don't want to sit here forever and talk about the deck. Did I add any cards? I think I did. I think I took out a land and put it in there. Oh, and Commit Memory is there to basically start and restart the game. As far as like hand sizes go. Can't believe that guy, man. Try to cheese me out using like a tier 1 net deck. Like, cheese me out using an approach deck. Are you serious, bro? It's combo-ish, I guess, but come on. Like, let me play 3 or 4 Syncopades and Disallows and all this other mumbo-jumbo. It happens, though. And wow, we're like already an hour into recording. Bleh. I'll actually keep it on the back of 2 Arguels. Ooh. So we're going to go Arguels first because we didn't draw a land, basically, right? So at our turn, we will pay the 2 to draw a land if we have to. Yep. We're going to have Disallow up here or any kind of shenanigans. Oh, there goes my audio. Yeah, we'll pay 2 life. I love this format, I do. Outstanding. And we draw into a land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think it's safe to go Nicol Bolas here. I mean, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's not do that. Let's let my opponent tap out first, and then I can get a look at my opponent's hand, right? Because I have Disallow up. So he's playing an Esper control deck, right? I feel like I'm just gonna Disallow this. Yeah, I think that's the smart play to make, to be honest with you, because I've got ways of dealing with the Teferi, right? I do. Give me a land. Perfect. And we'll play Glint-Sleeve Siphoner. So it puts a double threat for us drawing extra cards. So if my opponent slams the Teferi and thinks that's good enough, we've got Vraska's Contempt, we've got Disallow, and sure enough, that's what he's gonna do. He's just gonna slam Teferi and be like, "Huh, do something, biatch."
Slow this down.
Yeah, that's fine.
Skip to the good part.
I mean, maybe my opponent does have like a negate in their hand. That's a possibility. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna go draw, combat, attack into the Teferi. Damage.
Hey, that was uncalled for.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me think here. I think we just go Vraska's Contempt. I really don't think he's got the negate here. Yeah, we'll go for it. It might be the wrong play, but I don't think it is. We didn't make a land drop. That's unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. Maybe he's got a second Teferi? Maybe not. Yeah, we'll take action. We gotta save our Abrades for the Torrentials. Because normally when a player plays Esper, they're playing Torrential Gearhulk in a lot of instances. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're gonna go... Yeah, we'll go Champion of Wits here. We'll keep Disallow up. We've got to be very stingy about this Disallow. So if he counterspells this, I don't care. Like, I just don't. And that's the kind of mindset I have to have. That's fine. I'm not going to fight over that. That's a very stupid thing to do, in my opinion. I'm not hurting for any kind of, like, mana or lands or card draw, because I have Arguel's Bloodfest out there on the table. And my opponent now is going to be hurting to resolve anything reasonable. Fumigate? Yeah, I don't care. If it's not Teferi or something that wins the game, I don't care. Like, I really don't. Land's pretty good. Alright, we've got... Let me see your hand. Wow! Do you see this, Scoobs? So I think I'm going to take the Ixalan's Binding here, because I don't care if he's got Disallows up the wazoo. But Ixalan's Binding is a bit of a pesky card for us to deal with. We're just going to pass our turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's going to eat a Disallow. I don't want my opponent to have any additional card advantage. 44 to my 41. We're winning by a lot. Yeah, that's actually a really good play here. And it can flip next turn. 3, 4, 6, 8. My opponent will most likely have to use a Disallow to stop me from flipping this. I mean, he'll go Torrential Gearhulk, Disallow, and I'm okay with that. Yep, that's fine. Yeah, we'll draw. Now, if he goes Torrential Gearhulk, we have Abrade. Like, it's not the end of the world. No, that's fine. Yeah, we'll draw 2 cards. We have Doomfall. So we're going to take one of the cards out of my opponent's hand. Let's go ahead and start off with a Doomfall. This will probably get a Torrential Gearhulk out of my opponent's hand. Or not. Wow, okay. We didn't flip Nicol Bolas, because if my opponent has like an exiling effect, it's just not going to be very fun. So he's going to go for Glimmer of Genius here. And I have to let him have it. But we are going to destroy target artifact, right? So we have the Abrade. He's going to draw cards. I don't care, because I'm going to draw 2 cards as well. And then I'm going to flip Nicol Bolas. Yep. One. Oh man, that Doomfall is so good. It's so good. It's so good. My opponent's not gonna know what hit him. He's gonna be like, oh yeah, oh Teferi, and we're just gonna beat it. All right, let's see what you got. So I don't care about a Syncopate or a Settle. Let's go ahead and start taking these Torrential Gearhulks out of his hand, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're not gonna even bother attacking. Like, I guess that's a misplay.
Why be a beast when I can be a god?
We're gonna put that. We're gonna put this. We don't have any instances we want flashback, unfortunately. But we will take Karn. Karn's pretty good here. More card advantage. I love it. Both of them are amazing. All right, well, we're tapped out. My opponent can resolve whatever he'd like. Probably just concedes. That's what my guess is. I'm so unbelievably far on the board. And we have another Abrade? Are you serious, bro? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so we're just going to draw 2 cards.
My knowledge.
Who would have thought that drawing cards is really good? Yeah, we're going to put a silver counter. I want this Vraska's Contempt now and not later. It sucks we don't have an additional land, but we will play what we've got. Let me think here. One. Okay, so my opponent's not anywhere near ready to cast anything reasonable, so we're going to go like this. We're going to play Glint-Sleeve Siphoner. Takes the Essence Scatter. We'll play a second one. Takes the other Essence Scatter. That's fine. We're just completely outplaying our opponent, like literally. I mean, it does help that we know what he's got to work with, but it doesn't really matter. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sure. I don't care. Like, my opponent's just spinning his wheels, and that's what we call it, is spinning your wheels. And we're just gonna pass the turn. Like, I'd have no reason to play anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? And so that helped me get rid of the cards in my hand as well. Let's go! Esper control, more like duty control. I don't know where that came from. All right, we are on our last match. Hopefully we can get a perfect 5-0 record. That would be really good. Man, who would have thought Grixis control will draw a bunch of cards is really good? Who would have thought? I mean, we went against 2 different control decks, and we beat the snot out of those guys. I mean, one of them was just trying to play, like, Approach. He's just like, huh, Approach, what's up? What are you gonna do? So you don't ever counter the first Approach of the second Sun, but you counter the second one. Unless you can syncopate the first one, it's not so good. Angry Edjo. This is a fully functioning hand. We're gonna keep it. Are you serious, bro? Another control deck? All right. We're not gonna even bluff to have counter magic. Maybe. Oh, look at this. My opponent's being all kinds of hidden. Yeah, sure. We'll try to resolve this. Oh, and it. Let's go. And we'll take action. Sure. We'll discard Champion. I think this is gonna be a combo deck, so I'll actually keep the Abrade in my hand. We don't really need the other Nicol Bolas, so we'll discard a Nicol Bolas and a Champion. Don't really need multiple copies in her hand. But like I said, I think this is going to be a control type of deck. What would I be playing around? I don't think anything, so I'm going to go Nicol Bolas here. This is probably counterspell worthy, and that's fine if it is. It's not a big deal. Probably, if it gets syncopated, it's a little bit rough. But Insidious Will, okay. That's a pretty good ability. I mean, mono blue, let's go. Combat. Attack. Take thine points of damage. And end turn. Sure. Like I said, I think this is like one of those omniscience, play my whole hand out kind of a deck, and if it is, I've gotten a braid for the Aetherflux Reservoir. For the reservoir. As foretold, sure. My opponent's being very careful to leave up mana, or not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Damn it. Why can you not be more mana? The turn my opponent is tapped out. I wish I had the mana. Play this Nicol Bolas and be like, give me your hand, biatch. Sure. My opponent's full controlling it? That's crazy. 7 islands, islands, islands. Sure. Actually, we'll go with attacks first, right? Maybe it's going to be a huge pull from tomorrow. That's a possibility. We'll see if this is worthy of a disallow. It says he's got something, so, you know, he might disallow this. If he does, I'm not really worried about it. He's still 3 lands away from casting any kind of, like, real shenanigans. All right, we'll discard an Abrade. Actually, do we want to do that? Yeah, we'll discard an Abrade and... I don't want to get rid of both Abrades. We can go without a Nicol Bolas here. I want to keep the lands in my hand, the 3 lands. Actually, you know what? We don't need all 3 lands. We'll discard the Dragonskull. That's fine. Yeah, we don't need all the lands in our hands. And we're just basically looking for some kind of counter magic. That's all we're really looking for. 2 to the top. Sure. Look at the top, sure. Ops? That's the only thing I could really think of for 1? Yeah, sure enough. So my opponent is 100% on a combo plan. That's the reason for this kind of a counter spell, you know, in my opinion anyways. Yep. That's why we've got cards like Abrade to just break those kinds of combos up. We're looking for a disallow. That would be really good. Sure. Yep, that's 1. Djinn, okay. 2 mana open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll combat here. We'll attack. Maybe he takes the block, maybe he doesn't. We'll see. Damage. Alright, we're going to try to Vraska's Contempt this. And if it has a negate or something in his hand, I'm actually okay with that, because then I can just Abrade it. Blink of an eye? I don't think so. I think my opponent's trying too hard to keep that card, so we'll go ahead and abrade it. Does he have a second blink of an eye that he'd like to use? Nope. And then we'll try to resolve an Arguel's Bloodfast. Drawing cards is really good. So that tells me right there that my opponent is not on any kind of counter spells right now. Or at least that's what that's communicating to me. So we'll try to jam a Nicol Bolas if we can. Even if he's got like mana open, we'll try to do it anyways. Yep. Which Nicol Bolas though? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can at least draw 2 cards this way. So we'll try to jam this Nicol Bolas, see if it works out. We're just testing our spells. We're not in any real danger as of right now. We're just trying to test the waters. Maybe my opponent runs out of counter spells. But either way, we're drawing way more cards than my opponent is. Yeah, sure, we'll draw a card. Give me a Disallow, that'd be pretty good. Glint-Sleeve? No, that's fine. That can resolve. Yep. Do you have a second Essence Scatter? Nope. Okay. We're just testing the waters. We're seeing what my opponent's got, what my opponent doesn't have. We are remarkably dead in a few turns, though, right? So we got to make sure we pay attention to that. And every turn we let my opponent draw a card? Oh, sweet. Okay, so what's the possibilities that the cards in my opponent's hand are counter spells, right? What's the possibility? Right, and this is a spell, right? Yep. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 10 mana, so we really do need to draw a Disallow here. That would be really good. Vraska's Contempt? That's pretty good. So yeah, we'll try to jam it. If it resolves, we're going to take out that Sphinx first. The Tempest Djinn is okay to deal with, but that Sphinx is letting my opponent draw extra cards. There we go.
Greetings, lads.
All right, here's the test. Does he have a blink of an eye? Nope.
That hurt.
Sure. They just want to trade? That's fine with me. Yeah, I'm actually pretty okay with that block. I really am. Yeah, sure. End the turn. So now my opponent's drawing 1 card a turn and not 2 and 3. We're going to for sure draw a card off this Arguel's Bloodfast here. And then we might have to slam the other Nicol Bolas, but I think we're going to try Vraska's Contempt first. Who would have thought that the Sphinx is actually pretty good? Yeah, sure, no blocks. Damage.
You cannot kill me, you
You cannot kill me, you fool! That's pretty good. Sure, 2 Djinns? That's pretty good. Doomfall is really good here. Alright, target opponent exiles a creature they control. Boop. 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 Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you have a counterspell for that? I mean, he didn't for the other spell. Maybe he does. Or maybe a bounce spell. That would work too. Either way, it would give it Summoning Sickness again. Counter target spell? Sure. Yep, go ahead, buddy. One card is all she had. And I've gone through a lot of theirs. So I'm going to draw 2 cards this turn. So I'm going to look at 4 cards minimum. Yep, no blocks. One and 2. Cool beans, Daddy-O. I think we slam this. Hold on, let's go 1, 2. What are the chances it's a Nicol? It's a counter spell, right? 0 chance. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll put a Glint-Sleeve up just for blockers in case this is like a Merfolk Trickster. Sure. I mean, a commit to memory kind of gets him back in the game, but it lets me have the first crack at it. Yeah. Disallow is really nice. And we'll take action. 11 is not dead. I want to know what's on the top. Cool beans. And we'll draw 2 more cards. Divination's really good. Glint-Sleeve Siphoner. It looks like we're going to win this one. I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, because in the event, my opponent has, let's see, 2, 6, 7. Yeah, let's actually do this. I'm going to leave this open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. So we're drawing cards right now. Like I said, the more card advantage we have, the better. I'm actually going to ditch both these Arguels. I don't need them. Vraska's Contempt is ultimate insurance against creatures. Even like a Nezahal, my opponent simply doesn't have the creature cards to deal with it. Because what I'll do is I'll target it with Nicol Bolas, and then Vraska's Contempt it, and it's just done. Or Doomfall it, then Vraska's Contempt. I'm going to give this my opponent an early good game. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. It's not worth the Disallow. Yeah, we'll take action. Draw. Drowned Catacombs. We'll take off the top. Give me an Omniscience. Another Divination, we'll take it. We'll take the last card in your hand. Yeah, that's pretty much just a good game. I'm going to discard this Champion of Wits. Maybe the concession? I hope so. I mean, it's only been an hour and 20 minutes. Wow, we're going through these games quick. Let's go! Woohoo! Let's do it. We went 5-0 with Grixis control that I brewed up specifically for this event. Feels good, man. Let's claim the prize. Ooh, we got a rare. Let's start with the uncommon here. What kind of rare would I want? How about Jemama? Ooh, I actually want to use this card in a deck. I really do. Maybe we'll brew one up later. But anyways, guys, look, that's the event. Grixis Control. I specifically engineered / brewed this deck up for this event in mind. lot of card draw. It's got ways to deal with combo pieces. It can live through, Swarm. Like, in one match I played against Saprolings, and they just try to outnumber me, and I just, for some reason, got ahead, basically. But anyways, look, drawing them silent, though, right? Love, peace, and chicken grease. Be safe. Thanks for stopping by. And if you have any ideas or any comments, questions, concerns, or whatever, let me know in the comments section. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And, stay classy.